in Zimbabwe on Monday, the 30th of July. The Observer Group, constituted by the Commonwealth Secretary General, consists of 23 eminent people from across the Commonwealth, including representatives from Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Pacific. We're here until the 6th of August at the invitation of the government of Zimbabwe. The observers constituting this mission have a great depth of knowledge and experience, not only of electoral and political processes, but of civil society, human rights, gender, media, and youth issues. The Commonwealth last observed elections in Zimbabwe in 2002, and the first election observation mission of the Commonwealth was in 1980 in Zimbabwe. We recognize that Zimbabwe has come a long way since then, and this election of 2018 is absolutely critical for the purpose of democratic consolidation. As independent observers, our mandate is to consider factors that affect the credibility of the electoral process on whether the vote has been conducted according to the national, regional, and international standards to which Zimbabwe has committed itself. We'll perform our role with impartiality, independence, and transparency. It was here in Harare in 1991 that Commonwealth heads of government issued a seminal declaration committing their countries to a set of principles, including democracy, the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary, just and honest government, and fundamental human rights. It is noteworthy that for the first time in Zimbabwe's electoral history, women are among the presidential candidates, and I note that we have a total of 4 of them. Factors that affect the credibility of an election, and the key essence is to create a level playing field and create an equal opportunity for anybody participating in an election to be able to win. Transparency, fairness are all factors that you consider. Access to the media, the voting process, how polling stations are laid out, how people have access to be able to cast their votes. These are all factors that we'll be looking out for. Indeed, there's a comprehensive list that we have that we look out for, and that will factor in the final report that we would present. The Commonwealth, as a rule of thumb, observes elections only in member countries. But you remember that Zimbabwe was a member of the Commonwealth before, until it withdrew. And this mission is here at the special request of the government of Zimbabwe. A request was made to the Secretary General to field a mission. And so, even though it's an exception, the Secretary General considered it appropriate to send this mission. And as I said, we're all aware that Zimbabwe seeks to rejoin the Commonwealth. And so, I guess that the success of this election will play a very key part in the assessment that is made to look at that request that Zimbabwe has made. We have a long-term observer mission that does the various reports that feed into the work that the main observer mission will do. We fielded an assessment team, as I told you, that came here in June, and went around the country, spoke to various stakeholders, examined the environment in which the elections are going to be held. And we've looked at those reports, and we've all gone through those reports. Aside from that, we are validating the reports by speaking to the stakeholders. And we've held meetings with political parties. We're going to continue to meet with all the other political parties. We're meeting civil society organizations. And so this will all feed back into the reports that we've had. And I believe that it creates a fair platform for us to be able to hold a very successful mission here in Zimbabwe. To several others, I guess that all Zimbabweans are stakeholders, but you have different groups. You have civil society organizations, you have faith-based organizations, and everybody has a stake in ensuring that these elections are free and fair, are participating. And so the concerns that they raise in advance of the election are very important, and we need to look at. There are a few issues that have come up in respect of the voters' role. There are a few issues that have come up in respect of how the layout of the ballot paper is. There are issues that have come up with regards to fairness in access to the media and many others. And so these are issues that we're taking up with the Elections Commission and all those that matter. Security. In the run-up to an election, no demand is unreasonable. I guess that everybody wants to create sufficient democratic space and have a high level of confidence that they're being treated fairly. And so I think that is possible. But if it takes ZEC outside the ambit of the law, I don't think that is something that they can contain. And so no demand is unreasonable, and I guess that every political party will push the democratic space to ensure that their confidence level going into the election is good enough. And so I believe we must have a large heart to accommodate everybody. The ruling party might have its demands, the opposition might have its demands, and so even though elections are a human process, as much as possible we need to contain the concerns of everybody, because you want everybody to go into the election with a high level of assurance that they're going to be treated fairly in the electoral process.